Assalamu alaikum guys, this is me Muhammad Kamar. Welcome back to my channel. Today is our day 27 of the challenge that we have started for 3 years of machine learning, where we will learn complete machine learning from very basic to very advanced. And we have started Python programming language from day 1, and today is our day 26 of our challenge and of our Python learning series. Also, today we are going to learn about the scope in Python. What is scope? In the previous video we learned about the polymorphism, so you can watch the previous video if you don't know what is polymorphism. So we have studied it in very details. So today we are going to study about the scope in Python. So what is scope? We will learn about this today. So make sure to subscribe my channel to join me in this journey and like the video. And I am uploading all the code that I wrote here. I uploaded, and here the ChatGPT is open. You can see that we use it sometime if we don't get point from here. So that's why, to clear our concept, we have to use the ChatGPT. Today is our day 27, and I'm going to make a new folder, not like this. Day 27, right? All right. So today I am going to learn about the scope in Python. So for this we have to make a new Python file which is 70, and then scope underscore Python dot py is an extension for Python. And here I'm going to write the subject uh, of our file, the file that we are creating. Its subject goes here. So today's topic or subject is that scope in Python, right? What is scope? We will learn about it today. And then author, which is Muhammad Qamar. Who is Muhammad Qamar, I guess? You can also correct me if I'm wrong. So today is 22nd, okay, 22nd August and 2025. All right. So make it comment. All right. So let's start the tutorial then. A variable is only available from inside the region it is created. This is called scope. Okay, a variable is only available from inside the region it is created. This is called scope. Okay, what it means? Local scope. A variable created inside a function belongs to the local scope of the function and can only be used inside that function. Okay, so this is what we call the scope. So a variable created inside a function is available inside that function. We cannot access it from outside the function. We know that. Let me show you that. Define my function, and then I'm making a variable x equals to, let's say, 26. Okay, and then I am running at my function, and then let's see what it is gonna print here. Okay, it is printing right now nothing, as I am not printing it. You can see that. Okay, we have to print it. So print x, and then right here you can see 26 is being printed. I am accessing this x from inside the function. I cannot access it from outside the function. Here if I run it, it is also giving me an error, but if I run it, it will then tell me what is the error actually. Here you can see that name x is not defined. It is defined, but since it is inside the function, so its scope is local. This time it can be only accessed from inside the function but not from outside the function. That's why this is the scope or local scope of a variable. Function inside a function. Similarly, just like a variable, and explained in the as explained in the above example above, the variable x is not available outside the function, but it is available for any function inside the function. So the local variable can be accessed from a function within the function. Okay, so we can make a function inside a function. Before it, I have to make it as comment, then define another function as, let's say, my function 2, and this time inside it I am making a variable x equals to, let's say, 20 this time. And then I am making another function. It define my function, let's say my function, and let's say this function 3. and then I run it, and let's say I print the X. Okay, so it is now accessing uh, the above X. Here you can see that. So what it is gonna do here is that print X. Then why it is running this line here? Okay, I do not get the point. Okay, so what it will do is that here it will run my function 3. It will execute this, but for execution of this we have to execute this first. So for this we have to write a my function 2 here, and it will run. When this runs, it will also run this, and it will print the X. Okay, first of all I have to clear the terminal, then run it. Here you can see that 20 is printing here, but we are printing it inside another function. This function, since this function is inside this function, so this can access uh, this X variable. Since it is local, but for this it is actually global. As if I make inside it, it will not put the above. Okay, let's continue the tutorial. Okay, then that was about the local scope. Now we are going to study about the global scope. A variable created in the main body of the Python code is a global variable and belongs to a global scope. Global variables are available from within any scope, global and local. A variable created outside the function is global and can be used anyone by anyone. Okay, X is 300. So okay, this is how. So that was about the local functions. Let's make uh, a comment here that local scope, right? No function local scope, and again we have to add another. Okay, now I am going to make a global scope, comment it, and okay, then I make a variable X equals to 10 and define a function. Let's say my function 4, and then inside it I will try to access the above the global variable. So now I can access it. You can say that it is you see that it is not giving me any error. Now I am going to execute the function, my function 4, then also print the X variable here also, so I can access it from outside also and from inside of the function also, since it is a global scope. That's why we call it a global scope. This variable now has a global scope. Here you can see it is printing here also and here also. That this is what about the global function. Naming variable: if you operate with the same variable name inside and outside of a function, Python will treat them as two separate variables, one available in the global scope outside the function and one available in the local scope inside the function. The function will print the local X, and then the code will print the global X. Okay, since we have two variables here, this is a global variable and this is a local variable, so this time this function will print its own local variable, and this will print the global variable this time. Okay, we are going to make it as comment, and now I'm going to naming variables. Variables. Okay, let's say X equals to 300, then define my function 5, and inside it I am going to make another same with the same name. I am going to make another variable, let's say this time 200, and print this X inside it and execute or call this function. Okay, this is called the calling of a function, and then print the X also here. So this print statement will access this as it is a global variable. It can be accessed by this print also and this print also, but this print also already has a local variable, so it will focus on this instead of the global variable. First of all, let's make the terminal clear and now execute it. Here you can see that first it is printing the 200, since this print statement is above this print statement, so that's why this print statement will run later, and 300 is printing on the next line. Let's clear it. All right, then global keyword. So that was about the naming variables, and it is called global keyword. If you need to create a global variable but you are stuck in the local scope, you can use the global keyword. The global keyword makes the variable global. Okay, so what it is saying that I am going to make another variable as, let's say, global keyword about global keyword. Let's say I make a function, my function this time, let's say I make it full name. Then inside it I am going to write a global variable, global keyword, then x equals to, let's say, 35 this time. I'm going to print it here, that print the x. Okay, wait a minute please. Okay, not like this, we have to use it like this, x equals to 35. So here it is becoming a global, and then it is having a value. Now I am executing this my function, and then I am printing the x also. Since this x is created inside the function, but we have used the global keyword, so that's why we can access it from outside the function also. And if I run it, you can see that we are printing the 35 two times, since we have written the print statement two times. Okay, all right. Also use a global keyword if you want to make a change to a global variable inside a function. To change, okay, so similarly, since we can access it from we can access the inside variable from outside. Similarly, if we have a function, let's say outside, let's say its value is this time 40, and we have a variable defined my function 2, and I want to change the value of this x, but from inside we have to first of all use the global x, and then x equals to, let's say I'm going to give it a value as 45, then print it, print the x, and here also print the x. So now this will print 45 instead of 40. Okay, here you can, okay, it is printing 40, I don't know why. Wait a minute please. Okay, so I guess we are doing something wrong. Okay, sorry, we are actually not calling this function, that's why. Okay, run it. Here you can see that this time it is becoming a 45 instead of 40. So this is how it works. You know that this code block will not execute until or unless we call this function. That's why it was not executing before. Okay, non-local keyword. The non-local keyword is used to work with variables inside nested functions. Nested function means that a function inside a function, and the non-local keyword makes the variable belong to the outer function. Okay, if you use a non-local keyword, the variable will belong to outer function. Since we have a function outside, then inside it we have another function, so we can, the inside function can access the variables of the outside function, but the outside function cannot access the value of the inside function. But if we use the non-local keyword, then we can access, means the outer function can access the variables or the properties of the inside function. Okay, let's run it. Let's try it by ourselves. Okay, before this I'm going to make it like this, and make this line also. Okay, now make it as comment, define new function this time, and let's say x equals to this time 23, and another function, new function 2, and inside it I am going to give it a value non-local. Then let's say I'm going to give it a value as 20 as x, and then x equals to, this time let's say it is 15. Now I am calling the my function. Okay, where, sorry, this is new function. Okay, new function 2, new function 2. Okay, and then we will do is that return the x. Okay, So yes, everything is correct. Now I have to just print, since it is returning, that's why we have to use the print statement this time. Of a new function, and yes, let's run it. Here you can see that it is giving us value of 15, not 25, but I guess it means nothing this time. It is hello, and okay, it is changing the value, right? So that's how it works. So here we have an exercise that consider the following code: x equals to 300, define my function, x equals to 200, print my function, and print x. So it will print the value of 300 because the print statement is not inside the function. Since it is outside the function, so it will print the value of the outside. Okay, the answer should be 300. Submit our answer, and yes, we are correct. Click on the next question and consider the following code: that x equals to 300, define my function, and global x, and x equals to 200. Here we can see that here the print statement is not present, but since we have used the global keyword, that's why the value of x has been changed from 300 to 200. If we print it inside from outside, it will still change and it will give us value as 200, and run it, and here you can see that we are correct. Okay, then which statement keyword can be used for variables inside nested function? We can use a non-local function. Then congratulations, we have completed this exercise too. Click on the next, and let's study about the modules. What are modules in Python or any programming language? Okay, so we have to use the code, right? So for this we have to make another file, as its number is going to be 71, and then modules dot not dot but python dot py, giving a value, and subject is equals to modules in Python. Author is Muhammad Kamar, and today's date is 22, right? 22 August 2025. All right, just make a comment, and yes, let's study this tutorial. What is a module? Consider a module to be the same as a code library, but we don't know about library. Okay, a file containing a set of functions you want to include in your applications. So a file that contain a set of functions that we want to include in our apps or in our code is called a library, or a module is called a module. Yeah, create how to create a module. To create a module, just save the code you want to in a file with the a file extension .py. Okay, let's say we have saved this code in the file name my module.py. We are going to make first of all my module. With the name of my module, I have to make another, let's say my module.py. Okay, this time we are making something else. Here we are going to just make a module, so we have to make a function. So define greeting function. Okay, and it will uh, ask for the name. This is a parameter. Then it will print that string, then name, and then okay, let's say how are you doing today? All right, so this is a file I have created and it is saved. You can see that it is saved already. Now use a module. Now we can use the module we just created by using the import statement. We can use the import statement to import a module. Import the module named my module and call the greeting function. So I'm going to make it inside here. Let's say import what? Import my module that we have just created here. Okay, my module. Then I am calling the greeting function. Yes, and we have created a greeting. Yes, it is correct. We have created the greeting import module. So it is saying that name greeting is not defined. Okay, it is giving me an error. Okay, sorry, we can use it like this. Okay, we have to use a my module. Let's say I make it here as okay. Let's say for now, let's just ignore it, clear it. Okay, my module dot. Okay, here we can access now the greeting, and now it is asking for the name, which is I'm going to give it Muhammad, and now run it. Here you can say this, see that Muhammad, how are you doing today? So it is now running it. Even though I do not have created that file, meaning that function inside this file, but still we can use it. So this is how the modules work, and this is how modules can be created. Not when using a function from a module, use a syntax module name, then the function we want to use. Okay, first of all we have to use the module name, and then we have to use the function. Okay, variables in module. The module can contain functions as already described. Yes, we have studied about it just now, but also variables of all types like arrays, dictionaries, objects, etc. So now save this code in the file module .py. Okay, person equals, this is a dictionary in which we have some data of a person. Let's say I will make my own. Here I am going to make a dictionary. Let's say person equals to, inside it giving it name. Name is going to be Muhammad, let's say, and then uh, we, before it I have to add a comma here. Then we have to use the age colon. We have to use it 17 comma. Then we have to write the country. Okay, and let's say the country is Pakistan. Then comma again. Let's say it's about city. The city is, we have the Islamabad here. All right. Okay. So now import the module, name my module, and access the person one. Okay, person. Okay, let's say it is a person one. So now we have created that person one in person one dictionary in the module my module.py file, but we can access it here. My module dot, we have person one. Yes, we can access it, and then how to use it? Okay, we have, okay, we can access it like this. But why it is printing the a? Okay, it is storing the value inside a. So let's say I am storing it inside the a, and then just like this I am doing nothing but just printing the a. I'm not accessing just the age, but I think it should print the whole dictionary. Yes, here you can see that it is printing the whole dictionary. We can just access a simple thing. Let's say it could be age, I guess. Let's say I want to know the age, so it will just print the 17. Okay, then I want to know about the country or the city, let's say, so it should print the Islamabad. First of all I have to make this comment. Okay, okay, here you can see that it is printing Islamabad. So this is how we can access the variables and the functions from a module. It was easy. Naming a module, you can name the module file whatever you like, but it must have the file extension .py. Okay, so renaming a module, you can create an alias when you import a module by using the as alias keyword. Okay, as keyword, create an alias for my module called mx. Okay, so what it means is that this was what I was trying to say you, but I skipped it before, because I knew that we will learn it here. So what they are teaching is that you can see that we are using my module here, and whenever we want to access it, we will have to use it my module. So what we can do is that we have just to use the alias that as is, it is a keyword, and then whatever we name it, we are naming it right now M. If I write the M here now, M dot, so you can see that I can access the print, and let's say I am accessing the this time the name. Okay, and let's say store node, instead of storing I can just print it, right? I can just print it. You can see that name is Muhammad. So this is how we can just use the M instead of writing the full my module, okay? Or MX also. So if now, but I will have now to use the MX. So whatever I write here, so it is, we can say that a short form of writing. Instead of writing the full name, we can just use the short form. Okay, that was easy. Built-in modules. There are several built-in modules in Python which you can import whenever you like. So we do not have to make our own modules. We can't make our own modules, but there are so many modules already created by good developers, the professional developers. We can use their modules also. Okay, import and use the platform module. So platform module. Okay, first of all I have to import it. Let's say this time I am importing what? Importing the platform module, I guess. Platform, yes. Platform, let's say I am printing is SPT platform, okay? Then what should I do? Okay, platform dot system. Let's say x equals to pt dot system, I guess, and then print the x. Let's see what it is gonna print. I don't know anything about it. Okay, the platform is Windows. Okay, so it will tell me about my system, which system I am using. This time I am using Windows, so that's why it is printing the Windows. Okay, it was good, it was helpful. Use the dir function. There is a built-in function to the list, to list all the function names or variable names in a module. The dir function. Okay, so if I use the dir function, let's say this time I am going to use it y, and instead of using it here, I can use it above. X equals to, this time I'm using the dir function upon the platform, right? The pt this time, and printing, instead of x I will print the y, and it will give me the list of all the functions and variables that are present inside the platform module. So here you can see that there are so many. Okay, we have Android Ver iOS version info processor. We have a Windows 32 client, release loader, file, doc, copyright, cached version, Java, uh, and so many other things. Python compiler, Python implementation, Python version, Python revision, Python version tuple, and so much more. So note that the directory function can be used on all modules. Okay, we can use the directory function on all modules. Yes. Okay. So also the ones you create, we can use it also on the modules that we have created. Import from module. You can choose to import only part of a module from a module by using a from keyword. Okay. So the module named my module has one function and one dictionary. Yes, we know that these two things it has, but this time instead of importing the whole module, we can just module the specific thing that in which we are interested. So what we can use, that import only the p1, the person one dictionary from the module. From my module import person one, so it will just import a person one. Okay, instead of uh, importing the whole module, it will just import the specific item I want to import. From my module import person one. Okay, so person one, and let's say I call it person one is p1. Okay, then I print the p1, and it will still print it, right? Yeah, it is still printing it. I can access the p1 age only. We can use a city, we can use anything we want. Run it, and here you can see that it is printing 17 is the edge. Okay, All right. Note when importing use when importing using the from keyword, do not use the module name when referring to elements in the module. Example: person age, not my module person age. Okay, this is what we got. Okay, so true or false? A module can only contain one function or object. No, it can hold many data. I guess. Of course, it can hold many data. So next question, what is the correct syntax to import a module? Okay, I have to use the import keyword and it is so easy. That's why we say that Python is so much easy. We have to just write the English words like import, like delete, like so many things. Okay, we have to use the aliases as. Okay, next, print what? Print what is the correct syntax for printing? For printing all the variables and function inside. Okay, we have to use the dir function. Then I have to use the my module. All right, my module. All right, it is okay. Next question. What is the correct syntax for importing P1 from a dictionary? Okay, we have to use the from my module. We have to import. Submit and congratulations. We have completed this exercise. Also, click on the next. Okay, how much is this? Okay, it is not that much, so let's do it today. About Python, okay, we do not, I guess, okay, we have to use the Python file, so we have to just create 72 underscore date underscore Python dot py. 72. Okay, subject date in Python, then author is comma, and date is going to be 22 August in 2025. All right, just hide it there and let's read the tutorial. Python dates. A date in Python is not a data type of its own, but we can import a module named datetime. Okay, not date but datetime to work with dates or as date object. Import the datetime module and display the current date. Import datetime x equals to datetime dot now. So it will print the time that is this time right now. So import datetime. Here we can see it, and then let's see. I just as use the dt. Okay, and then x equals to dt dot datetime and then dot now, print the x. It should print the time that is right now. You can see that 2025 8, which is August 22, and then 9:57 a.m. and I don't know. Okay, this is the second. Okay, it is printing the seconds right now. The exact with the second, the nanosecond, the milliseconds also it is printing right now. So that output, when we execute the code from the example above, the result will be like this. Oh, come on, man, it is the exact. Okay, like, come on, man, it is. This website is right now using the Python for this thing, and it is right now live. Okay, it is giving me the exact date and time right now. The date contains year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and microseconds. Okay, then the datetime module has many methods to return information about the date object. Here are a few examples. You will learn more about them later in this chapter. return the year and the name of the weekday. What we can do is that time now, then x dot year, x dot what is this, start, I guess, I don't know what is mean, but strf and time, and then percentage and a. Okay, let's say this time I print x dot year. We have so many things here. Okay, so we can uh exit from here. Let's say year. Okay, then I am printing something else. Let's say this time st. Here we can access it like this, then inside it we have to write it like this, and clear the terminal, run it. Okay, today is 2025. This is 2025 year, and today is Friday. All right, creating date objects. To create a date, we can use the datetime class constructor of the datetime module. The datetime class requires three parameters to create a date, year, and month. Import datetime, datetime, then 2025 17 and print x. Okay, we can create a date like this. Just make it as comment, y equals to dt dot datetime inside it. Let's say 2025 comma or something else. Yes, we have to use a comma. 2025 5 and let's say 17, and now print the y and run it. Here it is, time is 000, but today's day, but it is giving us a date. Okay, not the time. So the date time class also takes parameters for time and time zone. However, first is for hour, the second is for minute, the third is for second, the fourth is for microsecond, and the fifth is for time zone. But they are optional and has a default value of 0, none for time zone. Okay, now what is this? So method, the datetime object has a method for formatting date objects to read into a readable strings. The method is called string formatting. Okay, so this is a string format time. Okay, module, or yes, method, and takes a parameter format to specify the format of the return string. So what will this do? Let's see it here. Okay, this time I will print here as str, this time string format time, and then inside it I am going to print it like this, run it, and here it is giving us the Saturday. Okay, so it is converting it into a string format. Okay, so this means, I guess, before a means exact, I guess. No, I use the a, not b, so let's use the b. What it will print, let's see. It is printing the month, which is May. Okay, the reference of all legal formats codes are small percentage in small a is for weekday, and short version is Wednesday, I guess, and capital A will print a weekday, which is full version, and it will print the Wednesday completely. Then the small w will print a weekday as a number 0 to 6. 0 is Sunday, so 3 is a Wednesday, right? Then the percentage d will print day of the month, which day means from 1 to 31st. It will print the 31st right now. Then we have b for month, a month name, and short version is okay. The small will print the short version, and full the capital will print the full version. Then m for month number, y for year, capital Y for full version, h for hour, and I for hour also, but from 0 to 12, h for 0 to 23, and I for 0 to 12. Okay, P for AM and PM, M for minute, 0 to 59, S for seconds, F for microseconds, Z for time zone, J for the day number of the year, then U for week and number of years, Sunday as the first day of week 53. Then we have Wednesday, W for week, number of year, Monday as the first day of week 0 to 53. Then there are so many things that we can read later. It is more important to read right now. So let's move towards the exercise. Consider the following code. Import date time, x equals to date time dot date time, which syntax will print the current date. Okay, which syntax will print the correct date? So this syntax will print the correct date. Okay, let's print it and click on the next correct answer. So consider the following code. Import date time, x equals to date time dot now, which syntax will print the name of the weekday. So which syntax will print the name of the weekday? String this will print the name of the weekday, I guess. Okay, click on the next question. When formatting date objects into readable strings, which syntax is used to return the month name full version? Full version, it will this. No, this is wrong. So B will print. Yes, we have used it already. Next question. Import date time, x equals to date time dot date time 2024, x and 20. What will be print using this percentage D? D is for day, I guess, and I don't know right now what is this. Let's say just choose it. Oh, not the next exercise, but to close it this right now. And yes, we have completed 3 modules today, 3 chapters today about the Python. Just clicking on the next, and we will learn about the math, the JSON, and the remaining things in the next videos, inshallah. So hope so guys you like the video, and make sure to subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.